And who better to talk about expectations when it comes to fitness success than two successful clients of Diet-Free Bootcamp for Successful Busy People? Before bringing Casey and Keone out from backstage, let's take a look at their progress. All right, let's see what we got here. Bear with me with these slides. All right. So let's see. Casey. Let's bring her ladies first. All right, Casey. So at about 5 feet tall, she's lost over 30 pounds and over 6.5 inches off of her waistline. All right. And that is her weight chart there. And we'll talk about about what it's all about and why it's like that. But I wanted to show you her before and after here. This is a goal that she struggled with for quite a while, but I'll let her talk about that when she comes out. But this is Casey here, and now I want to show you guys Keone here. All right, so Keone, at 6 feet tall, starting at about 280 something pounds, has lost over 50 pounds, dropping below his original desired weight of 230s in the mid 220s. Let me pull his, I got a couple of pictures here. He's currently in the mid 220s for the first time in a long time. And this is the side view. We got the front view over here. And then we have the back view. Big difference. Big difference. Okay, let's bring them both out from backstage and get this segment of the show going. Let's see. There we go. All right, how you both doing this evening?
Hi, good. How are you?
Excellent.
Hi,
Great,
Keone.
great. How we doing?
Great, great. All right, so let's talk expectations as they relate to fitness success. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, ladies
Ladies
first.
first, right? I'll make
There you go. Perfect.
So, go ahead.
No, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself with the audience, including like, where you're from and what you do?
Yeah. So my name's Casey. I am actually a real estate attorney in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Harmony Title is the name of my company. From Massachusetts, live in Marion, and have been struggling with my weight for a very long time.
Awesome. All right, and then actually, I'll have Keone. I'll have you introduce yourself after we go through here on her real quick. So I'm going to ask you both, but I'll ask you first, Casey. What did you expect when it came to starting your fitness journey?
So, I really didn't know what to expect. And I think that's the hardest part of trying to figure out the whole fitness and nutrition thing without a coach, is because there's so much conflicting information out there. Like one person tells you, fat's going to make you fat. And then somebody else will say, oh no, you can eat fat, but you just can't eat carbs. And there's so much information out there that it's hard to kind of wrap your brain around who's right and who's wrong and what you should be doing without the help of someone who's been through it before. So I would say, my expectations were I had no idea what to expect.
All right, that's fair. All right, so Keone, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself with the audience, including where you're from and what it is that you do?
Well, I'm originally from Lynn. I currently reside in Danvers. I am a probation officer out of Malden District Court. And weight has been up and down battle for me as well for quite some time. And I would say
what did you expect when you first started your fitness journey? Because Keone lost quite a little bit of weight himself first before we even got to me, and then we just took it the rest of the way. I mean, so what did you expect when it came to starting your fitness journey?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really have any expectations. I think you do so many different things, as Casey said, or you try so many different things that, my expectations for myself more so were to do better than I did the last time I tried it. You know what I mean? So to try to be better than I was the last time. So to stay, I would say, more consistent. So for me, my expectations were like, all right, here we go again. We're trying something different again. Stay consistent and see if it works.
Awesome.
Jason, I'll add too. One thing that I think is important is I think I had expectations from like prior diets and, you know, what you see out there on social media, TV, whatever. It's like, I felt like if I wasn't losing like a large amount of weight right off the bat, that either I wasn't doing it right or it doesn't work. And I think that's important for people to have more realistic expectations when starting something like this, is that, you know, don't beat yourself up if you're not like dropping weight like immediately right off the bat, because I and I'm sure other people probably have been through where I give up too easily because I think it's not working, or I'm doing it wrong and I can't do this. You know, I'm not doing it right. I can't do it. I quit. And you're never going to get ahead if you have that mentality. So that was something that was huge for me, that you kind of set those expectations up front. Like, you're not supposed to be losing, you know, 10 pounds your first week. Like that's not realistic. And unfortunately I needed a lot of reminding of that during the process. But I think that's huge for people to understand so that they don't just quit.
No, that's awesome. That's right. Matter of fact, I think I said you might end up going up in weight a little bit at first. I think I told you both. That's just the way it goes. Try to get clients like that, right? Be like, hey, listen, you're gonna go up in weight first. Yeah, can't approach it like that. Anyway, I've got some other talking points for us to discuss, and let me just I'll say what the talking point is, and then you guys give me your 2-3 cents on it. Progress takes time. Well, you kind of talked about that just now. Fitness results are rarely immediate. Setting realistic time frames for achieving goals is crucial to avoiding frustration and burnout or just quitting, right? That we kind of just talked about that. You know, do either of you guys have anything else to expand on that? Progress takes time as far as the results?
I mean, other than what I had just said, I think I even still in the beginning didn't realize like just how long it would take. And it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around. But then when I think about it, it's like, but if I hadn't have stuck with it, I would still be where I was, you know, over a year ago when we started. And now I've made so much progress that now when I look back, it's like, that really wasn't that long at all. But it feels long when you're going through it. But, you know, like you said to me before, like the time's going to go by anyway. So if you rush it, that might actually slow you down.
Well, just like people that progress takes time, right? So people start out and they lose the initial maybe even 7 pounds in the first week or something because they cut out soda and salt or whatever the case may be. And when they cut those things out, they don't realize that it's water weight they're losing. They're not losing fat, they're losing water weight. And when their weight fluctuates, they don't pay attention. But it does take time. But what you were saying as far as the time frame, it seems like a long time to wrap your head around. But again, how long did it take to get out of shape? You know what I mean? And not only that, how long did it take all that failing forward, if you will, or, you know, trying all these other things and then making some progress, and then, you know, like the whole 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, right? So how many times has that occurred over the years versus how long it took you when you started to do the correct things? You know, what big difference, right?
Would have saved a lot of time.
Right. Exactly.
So it really doesn't take that much time, does it?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It definitely not. Again, like she said, it just feels like that. You know what I mean? It just feels like it's forever because you've already psyched yourself out from your expectations. Your expectations are telling you, like she said earlier, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 1 week. Yeah, and I'm going to lose all this weight. So you're already psyched out. You're already psyched out. You're lost before you started, because now you start and you don't lose the weight like you think you're going to lose it. And like she said, now you start making up excuses, right? Oh, I'm not doing it wrong. Oh, this shit ain't working. Oh, I got to try something else. And what ends up happening, you just end up in the same loop, same hole, same thing over and over again, making zero progress and doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Sounds like insanity to me.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking about the workout program either. But yeah,
You know what I mean?
insanity.
Like that's what it is. That's a fight with yourself. It really is at the end of the day. And I mean, for me, you know, like I told Jay in the beginning when he first started explaining to me, we talked, you know, and I know Jay personally, so he started talking about weighing your food. And for me, that was not a thing. You know, like it was not a thing. I was not weighing my food. And so, but here we are.
Exactly.
Here we are. So
We have
again, if you can psych yourself back to just expecting whatever it is this gentleman on the mic is telling you at that time right there, and really don't expect much, just expect to stay consistent, results.
yep,
You
you
know,
get there.
when we first started, we actually increased my calories when I first started working
Yeah.
with this program. And that was definitely not something I expected, because you're so ingrained to think like first step is I got to eat less.
Right, absolutely.
And I actually
Absolutely.
didn't. Yeah, it was the opposite of the expectations on that.
There were times I was telling them when we were meeting on Saturdays, like, I don't know how I'm gonna eat all this food.
I remember that.
I don't know. It's like when I get to dinner, it's 2-3 hours later. I'm not hungry, so I'm like, damn, I gotta eat. I'm gonna put this food down. and I'm a eater. That was the thing. Like I was an eater. I eat. So and I got to the point where I was like, damn, I don't even want to eat right now.
So instead of eating less, I had you guys eat more.
Exactly.
We have a comment here. We have a comment from Sean actually here on Facebook here, and that's actually Sean. That's going to be in the public speaking segment as well. He says Casey and Keone, very impressive weight loss. He's inspired to learn more. So glad that he's on here too as well. Thanks, Sean.
Absolutely.
So this other talking point I have here, consistency over intensity. It's not about how hard you work in a single session, but how consistent you are over time. Building sustainable habits leads to long-term success. What do you guys have to say about that?
100%. 100%. I mean, it's with anything, right? I mean, it's not just weight loss. Anything you stay consistent with, it's probably going to end up being successful, right? For the most part, right? You slack on something, like I'm sure if you're a real estate agent and you slacked and you just met people and you felt like meeting people and like, yeah, you want to see an open house? Yeah, I guess, maybe, your pockets are gonna hurt, right? At the end of the day, right? So just like weight loss, if you don't stay consistent, well, you suffer and you gain weight.
Yeah.
So
and like going to the gym, I think I expected you had to work out for like 2 hours at a time, and you had to like go all in and get real sweaty. And I don't do that. I work out for 45 minutes to an hour, 3 or 4 times a week. I'm not going every day, and I've still seen good results. And that's even easier to keep up with in the long term. I feel like if you go all in too quickly, then you might burn out.
Exactly.
Which results in doing what? Giving up.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Making excuses, right? Nah, I can't go back to the gym. My body's killing me. I'm too tired. Anything you can do to stop. And then that's what happens. You end up, what's the word I like?
Hit the effort button.
Yeah.
Hit the effort button.
You sabotage yourself.
Self-sabotage. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's real. It's real.
So Keone, you have been working out throughout most of this 2 days a week, pretty much, right?
Well, in the beginning, so the time before we started, I was working out like 4 days a week, 5 days a week, give or take. And my man Kenny is giving me the workouts, and I'm doing the workouts, and I'm doing like CrossFit stuff. But when I started working with you, we started talking, and I started telling you, what I was doing, the things I was doing. He's like, you don't really need to do it. You're kind of killing your body a bit. So then my man KG just gave me a little weightlifting regime, and now, I'm not doing all the jumping around and the, burpees and all that stuff, because God knows my body has taken a toll on all the sports I've played. So it's nice not to be able to have to jump on top of a box, up and down. It's good just to be able to do, like, some gobble squats or something real simple. So
Yeah, so you're not killing yourself with the intensity, and you're able to be consistent, which is the key.
I'll add to that too. Something that was huge for me, especially with regard to expectations, is, the way I always looked at it, and the way I think it's portrayed a lot, is like the strength training and weightlifting is for the men, and the women are supposed to do cardio. You're supposed to run on a treadmill for like 2 hours a day, and that's the only way you're going to lose weight. And so when you told me that I didn't have to do that much cardio, that was awesome. That's like my favorite part of this whole thing, is that I do a lot of weights and not as much cardio. So that's a huge.
And you're not all bulky. Can you flex your bicep to make sure you're not too big?
I mean, I
want
got
to
a
show
sweater
everybody.
on, but I do.
See, she's not all. Yeah, but she's not all bulky, and you've been lifting weights.
Right.
Awesome. So consistency, not intensity. Next talking point. Fitness is not just physical. This is a good one. Mental and emotional well-being plays a huge role in fitness success. Expect mental challenges, such as staying motivated and overcoming setbacks. What do you guys have to say about that?
Yeah, all of it. You better be ready for all of it. You need it all. You need to be prepared. No, really. I mean, at the end of the day, right, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that you might even get stuck on that you don't know. And I think by going through those challenges and going through those stuck moments, it helps you become who you're going to become at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because those moments, you need those moments of struggle. Those moments of struggle are important, but at the same time, they're not excuses to quit. And I mean, I think that's what is good about when you meet with Jay, weekly, that you have somebody there telling you what's going on, what the deal is, how it's going, and giving you that confidence to, keep going, stay going. For me, I lost inches before anything else, and I noticed it because of my belts. So now, when you have to buy a new belt, you start noticing things. And that was the first thing for my notice. So, going through those challenges of, oh, what am I going to do about this meal? I got to go here. Or what am I going to do about that? He helps you with all that. And again, it's always good to have a person that you can talk it out with. It's as you get better in it, and as you go along, and as you progress and do better with what you're doing, now those things start to come to you themselves. They start to self-resonate. And now you start to go, oh shit, you know what? I can do this, or I can pack this up, or I can make this early, or I can do this, because again, you have everything you need. So at the end of the day, it's all in front of you. It's just about doing it. And I mean, I think that's where a lot of us get stuck, is when it's about doing it.
No, being prepared, of course. As far as the mental and emotional well-being, in Diet-Free Bootcamp for Successful Busy People, the program that Keone and Casey are going through has a stress management component to it. And do you guys want to talk about that instead of me talk about it for a second?
Yeah, I'll talk about that a bit. I had no idea, when you talk about the 4 pillars, and so it's fitness, physical activity, nutrition, recovery measures, and stress management. Like, I had no idea that stress management or recovery measures, primarily sleep, is so important to your health and your overall fitness. I had no idea that those things were related. So I remember when we first met and first started talking, and you were kind of introducing those ideas to me, I was like, what the heck does this have to do with like losing weight? Like but over time, it's helped me so much. And I actually remember that one of the first benefits that I got from eating healthier was finally sleeping through the night, which I never did before. I used to wake up many times a night, and that just affects so much in your life when you're tired. And having proper nutrition helped me with my sleep, and then prioritizing my sleep helped me with many other things, including the physical activity too. So it's kind of cool how it all kind of fits together.
Awesome. Yeah, there's nothing like that meditation to have you slow down for a second and take a breath, literally. You know, it plays a huge role in the sleep too. But again, and what Keone was saying too, as far as having peace of mind that someone that has been there, done that, is guiding you and letting you know you are on the right track. Continue to go and do these behaviors that you're doing. You're doing it right. Continue, just be consistent instead of having that mental fight inside. I used to have when I was overweight myself. I had that mental, am I doing it right? Because, you know, progress, of course, isn't linear. You can go 2 weeks doing everything perfectly, and then all of a sudden, you know, nothing happens. And then on the third week or the second week and second day, boom, you have like what I call a progress spurt. But yeah, just having that person guiding you and letting you know what's what, and you're on the right track is invaluable. It's huge. We have another comment here, Bethany. On Facebook here. Don't give up and stick with it. Great stories. Thanks for sharing. See, you guys are inspiring people. That's what I'm talking about. The replays of this too as well, and people get to see. Let's move on to the next talking point here. So results may vary. Results vary by individual. Everyone's body responds differently to exercise and diet. So comparisons to others can set unrealistic expectations. Focus on your progress, on your personal progress only, not others. I mean, I don't think you guys really had too much of a problem with that, right? Comparing yourself to others and their progress?
No.
Perfect. We could skip right through that then. How about this? There will be plateaus. Hitting a plateau is a normal part of any fitness journey. It's important to understand this and adjust your routine rather than giving up, or have your coach adjust it, right? So you guys want to talk about any plateaus that you might have had?
I would just say, like, it's definitely helpful to have you, Jason, when I'm like, is this normal? Is this normal? And I ask you multiple times, like, hey, you know, nothing's changed in a week. Like, is this supposed to be happening? And just to have your like reassurance, like, yes, this is normal, and just keep doing what you're doing, and it's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, the next day, it'll be down like 3 pounds. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess something was happening.
What about you, Keone? Any plateaus that you had to get through?
I mean, just as far as like, bouncing from, like at one point I was like 240, but I was bouncing back between 240 and 245, and I would jump into 230s every now and again, but back up to 245, and I was losing my goddamn mind wondering why I was continuously doing that. And so there it is. You explained it, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Then
since then, it's happened a couple of times since then. So I've known to be like, all right, that's gonna do that. It's gonna happen. So
it's expected. It got you to know your body and what's actually really going on.
And also, just because the number on the scale isn't necessarily going down doesn't mean stuff's not happening.
Right, absolutely.
That's a big one. A lot of people don't understand that the body composition changes, where what that means is you end up losing body fat, but you're actually gaining a little bit of muscle at the same time. So the weight on the scale might not shift or even stay the same, but like the inches will come off and you get tighter. And that's what ends up happening at a point.
Along those lines too, Jason, I know, like, when you showed my weight chart in the beginning, how it goes down and then up and then down. So my weight right now on the scale is exactly the same as it was, I think, when I was at my lowest, like the first time, but I feel and look better now than I did in, what was that?
At the same weight. Yeah. April.
At the same weight.
Right,
so it's not all about the number on the scale, because, we brought my calories back up so I could build muscle, and then brought my calories back down. And so I'm at pretty much the same place weight wise, but it looks different.
It looked better. I feel you.
Yeah, that's that you saw where she started and then it goes all the way down and then all of a sudden it starts to go up. We started to feed her more calories because you can stay at a deficit for only so long before the body
Right.
starts to stall and you know what I mean? It starts to be a detriment. So then we started to feed her more calories, a lot more. And look, she went up and she went up, but she gained a bit of weight and maybe held a little bit of water, but she was still nowhere where she started. And then when we started to bring her back down again into where she's at now, like she said, now she looks different than she was at the same weight, at her lowest weight. It's crazy. That's just the way
Right.
the body works. Body composition change. That's how
And
it works.
same for when, when it went up there, the second, like where it goes up, like I still felt good and looked a lot better than I did at that same weight on the way down.
Yeah, you didn't feel unfit and overweight at
No,
that point.
I didn't. No, I was still happy with where I was. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome, awesome. And then, all right, so we have another talk point, the role of nutrition. Exercise alone isn't enough. Managing expectations around how critical nutrition is to fitness success is key to seeing the results you want. How do you guys feel about the whole nutrition side of things and everything? You think plays a big part?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it plays a huge part to the simple fact that, I mean, my pictures are, and her pictures are, proof. You know what I mean? Like, again, I work out 2 days a week right now. I've gone down I've gone down like four days a week. I work out 2 days a week, and everything else is about my meals.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, if that doesn't show, I don't know what does at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I'm still going. So
yeah.
Awesome. All right, so set achievable milestones. Breaking large goals into smaller achievable milestones helps maintain motivation and makes the journey feel more rewarding. As far as milestones are concerned, I mean, I think when I started to feed you guys at first more, the milestone wasn't lose weight. As a matter of fact, I said that you guys may gain weight, but we were looking for the small win. We were looking for better sleep, feeling better, more energy, that sort of thing, less lethargic, that sort of thing, for milestones on the way down. Then I meant on the way up, and then when we're on the way down, the milestones were, we know what they were. We had certain weights that we wanted to hit, and we just wanted to make sure that it was steadily going down. And as you guys saw, the charts, it did. It went all the way down. I mean, is there anything else that we could say about setting achievable milestones for anybody? Maybe get a coach to set them?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my milestone, I did have a goal weight in mind when I started, but my milestone was just seeing progress, just consistently seeing progress and not and sticking with the program and doing what I was supposed to do was kind of the goal in itself. Like that felt like a win to me when like we would have our weekly check-in and you would say like, how was your meals this week or whatever. And like when I did everything I was supposed to do, that was like a win for me.
Awesome. And checking that stuff off the software, right? Checking the stuff off the list. We use software. Everybody gets, all the clients get an app and it's customized to the individual and have different things to check off and whatnot. And that's where you find the charts where you put the weight and the pictures in too. Celebrate small wins. Recognizing small improvements, whether it's stamina, strength, or mental clarity, helps maintain a positive mindset and builds momentum. So would you guys say all these small wins that happened occurring like when you were going up, when you were eating more, and then when you started coming down, like throughout the whole process, there were small wins, would you guys say, throughout the whole process?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that definitely keeps people going.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, again, like once you've got locked in and you're going now. For me, when I was locked in, now it was like, all right, I'm 235 this week. All right, well, next week I'll be 230. but that was for me, you know what I mean? And that was because I was already locked into where I was at, and I could lose 5 pounds in a week. You know what I mean? Like, so that would be my expectation. Sometimes I know I wouldn't do it, or I wasn't going to do it every single time, but I always try to shoot the moon. So it would keep me even more locked in because
Something to strive for.
Right. Absolutely. Again, as I was locked in, smaller ones in the beginning, again, like she said, I wanted to make sure I stayed consistent in doing everything I did. So I mirrored everything, right? So everything I have at home, I have at work. Everything is mirrored so that I'm able to do exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and all the materials in front of you to act the way you need to act.
That's it. And so again, that's the biggest goal. You should be putting on yourself in the beginning is just to stay consistent. And once you've started staying consistent, you're going, things are good. Now you can start setting other little goals. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but I mean, again, for me, and I think everybody might be different, but for me, it was just make sure you stay consistent and do everything exactly how it's supposed to be done. It's the only way it's gonna work.
Right? You gotta do the work. You gotta do the reps.
So
in and out of the gym. All right, so balance, recovery, and work. Success in fitness also depends on getting adequate rest, recovery, and sleep. Expect to include these as part of your fitness plan. That's why I have recovery measures as part of Diet-Free Bootcamp for Successful Busy People. And I've helped you both out with recovery measures. Do you guys want to kind of mention what we did as far as recovery measure intervention in your programs?
Well, so mine was sleep. So we discussed it and we talked about it and, try to set smaller goals as far as like, I was going to bed at like 12, 1. And just try to drop that down, go to bed a little sooner every night, basically in the beginning. And if I was having a hard time, I just cut off the lights in whatever room I was in at the time and cut everything off and just kind of sit there for a few minutes and then hopefully feel, like it's time to go to bed. Just different little things each night to try something different that would make me, go to bed a little bit sooner because I was going to bed so late, which Casey pointed out was very important that you get your sleep.
Yeah, we definitely got into sleep hygiene.
Yeah, that's
for sure. And then what about you, Casey? What did we talk about for you for sleep?
Yeah, sleep was an issue for me too, but I always have gone to bed early, so that wasn't an issue for me. Mine was just that I would wake up multiple times throughout the night. And one thing that we worked on was that I would sleep with the TV on. I always usually like to watch TV to fall asleep, and so you kind of had me break that habit. Now I watch, or I listen to audio. I'm blanking on the word. Like a sleep
audio book, black screen audio book on
yes,
YouTube.
but it's a black
screen
on YouTube, so there's no light coming through, and it's more of like a soothing audio to help me fall asleep, and that's helped me a lot. Staying throughout the night, and of course having proper nutrition, as you explained, helps sleep through the night better as well.
So one more thing, one more question is about expectations in fitness success. What would you guys say to people about their expectations as far as fitness success if they don't seek out guidance and they just continue to, what was that? Insanity, do the same thing over and over again? What advice do you have for these people about their expectations if they want to have some fitness success?
I would just say, working with you, my only advice is like if you do what you're supposed to do and you follow the checklist and you listen to your coach, it's gonna work. So that to me is the best feeling to have, because there's been countless diets that I've tried that worked a little bit or worked and then didn't, or worked and then I gave up. And so it's just such a comforting feeling to know, like, okay, if I do what I'm supposed to do, it's going to work.
Guaranteed.
Right.
What about you, Keone?
I mean, again, in all the things you do, I don't know what worked for anyone else, but I know what worked for me. The same time, that's what people need to start delving into, is that, are they putting in the effort, are they putting in what they need to put in to complete some of these things that they're trying to do? And if they're not, if they can honestly say to themselves they're not, and they can come to the conclusion that, I gotta be more committed if I'm going to do something, and they're ready to commit, I'd say contact Jay. If you're not ready to commit, I'd say continue to do what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
At
like,
the
hey,
end
do
of
you
the
want to
day.
get there? Do you want to get there? Call Jay. If you don't, then continue to do what you're doing.
But again, what's good for the goose is not always good for the gander. So I'm glad I found him. He's available. So if I'm you, I get on board.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Keone. Appreciate that. That's all I've got for talking points this evening for nutrition and fitness for the Fitness Success 4 Pillars of Achievement segment. You at home can help me with future episodes of this segment by answering this question. Which of these 4 pillars, nutrition, stress management, physical activity, or recovery, do you feel you need the most help with right now? Leave a comment below, and remember, that goes for everybody watching the replay too. I will see those. Casey and Keone, you guys have anything else that you'd like to say before we let you go?
I just want to say awesome job, Keone. Those pictures look great.
Oh, thank you very much. I just broke into my first XL clothing this today.
Good
Nice.
stuff.
I used to wear 3XL, so it's a big step.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And Casey, something about not crying anymore. Do we share that? Oops, did I let the cat out the bag?
No, yeah, it's exciting to like try on clothes or like go shopping and not be in tears when you leave, or like be getting ready to go out for the night and not be like, I don't have anything that fits and I look gross in everything I put on. And it feels good. And I feel like a whole new person since this process that we've gone through. So it's definitely worth it.
Awesome. Thank you. Casey and Keone, thank you for being on here tonight. And I'm sure you've already inspired Sean and Bethany. I'm sure you inspired others that have listened and will inspire others that check out the replay. And looking forward to having you guys both on future episodes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Awesome.